Hi everybody, I'm Giancarlo Caltabiano, and Felicia's not here, unfortunately, not here today. I know you'll have to contain yourself with me. I'm still pretty good looking, I think. Maybe not as much as her, but whatever. I digress. This is going to be our review of Traders of Osaka. In Traders of Osaka, players take on the roles of merchants trying to complete sets of merchandise before the boats reach Edo. To set up, place the board in the middle of the table and shuffle the deck of cards to form a draw pile. Reveal 3 cards to form the farm and 5 cards to form the market. Place the 4 ships on Osaka and place the achievement tokens in their respective pool to the side. Now each player will draw and reveal cards until they have at least a total gold value of 8. The player with the lowest gold value will go first. Ties are broken with the player with the least cards. Starting with the first player and going clockwise, each player will choose one of the achievement tokens. You're now ready to play. On your turn, you'll do one of the following 3 actions. Take coins, reserve a good, or buy goods. The take coins action simply lets you take an unreserved card, unless it's your own reserved one, from the market and add it to your hand. These will now count as monetary value as listed on the top left corner of the cards. The reserve action lets you place a reserve token on a farm or market card. These cards can not only be taken for coin or bought by you. To buy goods, you need to discard enough gold from your hand to buy all the goods from the market except any reserved by other players. The cards you buy go face up in front of you. The colored cards purchased will make the ships advance. If you bought one from that color, that matching ship moves up 1 spot. If you bought 2 or more of that color, that ship moves up 2 spots. When you take the buy goods action, the farm cards move down into the market with any reserve token still on them. You'll add 2 cards to the new market goods and 3 cards will form the new farm. The market and farm will also refresh when either the market is empty from everyone taking coins there, or at the beginning of turn if there are only reserve cards from the other players there. Now let's take a look at scoring. This triggers when one or more ship reaches Edo. This is called payday. Players will now sell the goods that match the color of the ship at Edo. Each good you have of that color has a value. You'll take the highest value plus the number of tokens you have of that color and multiply it by the number of same colored goods you have, and you round up to the closest 5 or 10. For every 5, you get to keep the lowest card in that set face down under your VP token. Discard all other cards you have of that color and the ship is brought back to Osaka. Now each player will do this for every colored good with matching ship in Edo. If you're also part of this payday, you also take one of the achievement tokens matching that color. During payday, ships out in sea in these 2 spaces are sunk by the black tide. Return the ships to Onori and each player will lose all goods they have of that color unless you insured your goods. To insure your goods, you simply need to discard cards of the same color and count the number of these guys on those cards when the black tide strikes. The total is the amount of cards you can insure of that color. Turn the goods you insured sideways to let players know that these items cannot be sunk for the rest of the game. When a player reaches 8 or more achievement tokens, the game ends and the player with the most cards under his token wins the game. Now, Traders of Osaka offers enough tactics and strategy to make it enjoyable for a quick game for core gamers, while being simple and inviting enough for beginner gamers who don't want their brains to melt the first time playing a board game, or even as a family game to get the young ones thinking. And since it's a quick strategy game with very little downtime between players and always invested in what other players are doing, this little box can be played as an all-nighter, but will probably be more on the filler side, so half a point only. Yet it gets full pro points for replay value. Components are pretty good with very good card stock, but I wish they would have put a little more effort on the board art as they've done on the cover art. Luck is kept to a minimum, but sometimes you will have that one color drawn constantly to dominate the market and farm. And the player who has all the matching achievement tokens gets a huge advantage, so half a point penalty there on the luck side. But I think tactically the game offers some choices to offset that. You can reserve high cards to remove those points from the eventual scoring player, or if a player has few cards, you can leave the high cost ones there knowing he probably can't afford it and will have to take it as coins. Moving your ship 2 spaces and sinking the rest in the black tides And another strategy or tactic would be to move your ship 2 spaces and sinking the rest in the black tides, or deciding when to take the low cards for insurance should you think your ship carrying most of your goods will sink. Traders of Osaka has that classic feel to it that I think anyone can enjoy. It gets an 8 out of 10.